Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Friday, the 23rd of September. Robert Murray McShane has us reading Psalm 74 today, which is a psalm of lament and crying out for help. It begins, "O God, why have you rejected us forever? Why does your anger smolder against the sheep of your pasture?" And the psalmist looks and says, we've been abandoned. All our enemies are against us. God has left us. We at at a loose end. We don't know what to do. We can't help ourselves. And he cries out to God. And then he says, but God is my king from long ago. He brings salvation on the earth. It was you who split open the sea by your power. You broke the heads of the monsters of the deep. And he starts looking back at what God has done. And he says, God, this is who you are. And this is the God I'm worshiping. And he doesn't need to remind God, because God knows who he is, but he reminds himself of the things that God has done in the past. And this is the God he's trusting. And in the end, he says again, rise up, O God, and defend your cause. Remember how fools mock you all day long. So by the end of the psalm, the situation hasn't been resolved. He still feels oppressed. There are people around him. He's still at a loose end. He's still overcome by the people about him. He's not victorious. The answer hasn't come, but he keeps calling because he knows who God is. He knows who he's calling to. And for us, that's something we need to hold on to as well and say, we know who our God is. And sometimes we look back at our own lives and we are able to see how God has worked in the past and say, God hasn't changed. If he's done that in the past, he can do it again. And for some of us, it'll be even that we won't have seen anything dramatic in our lives, but we can look at the God of the scriptures. We can look at what God has done in Jesus on earth. And we can say with confidence, that is our God. And that's who I hold on to. And we have the testimony of the saints, of the way God works. And that's what I'm hanging on to. So share the encouragement with others who are possibly struggling at the moment, if you're not. And if you're struggling, hang on to God. The God who has been around, who created the world, who called Israel, who sent Jesus. This is the God that we follow. This is the God we cry out to. And we can place our confidence in him despite our circumstances. And we can keep hanging on to him, even if it takes a while before he answers our prayers. So be encouraged to keep trusting God. And know as we do that, that we are blessed.